You know, something that's really kind of cool is when we're reviewing some of the guests we're going to have on the program, and we see LA producers going to be in town as a special presentation on a given day, and you look at the name that's associated with this famous LA producer, and you're going, wait a minute, I know that guy, because he used to live here. And that's exactly the case with our good friend, Nick Bertelsen. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, man. How long, we've known each other how long?
Like 15 years at least.
Oh, because you were in Des Moines for how long?
I was in Des Moines for 10 years before I moved to Los Angeles, and I've been in Los Angeles for about 8 years now. So
now, what is the progress? Let's give everybody a little back history as to what you were doing in Des Moines initially, and then the reason you went out to LA.
Sure. Right after college, I went to Iowa State for undergrad. I moved to Des Moines. I started working in production. I was, making commercials and corporate videos and things like that. Then I went to work for a rental house, and we rented out professional level equipment, lights, cables, dollies, and heavy stuff, and cameras. And then I sort of woke up one day and was like, I always wanted to go to film school, and I never did. So I applied to USC, and I didn't think I would get in, but I did. And so I moved to LA. And I've been there ever since, 8 years ago. I remember I left just a few days after the Iowa caucus in 2008.
So
which was an eventful day.
Which was an eventful day.
This guy who we didn't know about became president.
Some unknown senator.
Exactly. Yeah.
Barry,
exactly. Yeah, you know Ms. Barry. That is so good, but things have progressed rather well.
Yeah, so I got my master's degree at USC and started producing feature films, and I was very lucky in that my thesis mentor now co-teaches a class with James Franco at USC, and they invited me to come back and help with that class. Which introduced me to James and his business partner Vince, and we got along well, and they liked me, so they hired me to produce a couple of other films, one of which is Yosemite, which is the one we're showing tonight at the Fleur Cinema.
What does a Hollywood, what does a producer do?
I love and hate this question because it's so hard to sort of explain or describe. It's everything, It's like in any other industry, I think it would be more like a project manager where you're taking something from concept to completion and every little step of the way.
A lot of people think of it the money man.
Yeah, the one that writes the checks. So you're the one that writes the checks?
Typically, like an executive producer would be the person who sort of brings money or resources to a film. Could be access to an actor, could be money, could be something like that usually. And the smaller the budget of a film, usually the more producers there are because there's no money. And so you kind of divide and conquer all of the tasks and the duties that need to be done.
But speaking of that, it's good to have a name like James Franco on a production piece because people get really interested about what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. It helps you find money. It helps you find cast and crew. And James is in all of these movies that he helps support. And so, and this particular series of films, Yosemite is one of them, kind of supporting first-time filmmakers, young filmmakers, recent grads from NYU, recent grads from USC. And so, getting actors who want to, act with James Franco, because he's in all these movies, and, a crew who want to work on a James Franco film, and things like that. It also helps, on the distribution side. This film just opened January 1st in 14 cities in 11 states. And Des Moines, Iowa is one of them, but it's a one-off screening. It's only tonight at 7:30.
Oh, really?
Fleur.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, we've been watching a bit of the trailer here, and James Franco's a part of it, but he's not the main characters here. It's more about 3 fifth graders that we're kind of following along in a story.
We're following the stories of 3 fifth graders, sort of as they're reaching adolescence and discovering what their relationships are like with their parents, and who their real friends are and who their real friends aren't, and maybe who their enemies are, and things that are more important to them may seem sort of less important to us. They have things going on in their lives, like the death of a family member or a divorce of their parents or something like that, but the things that are more important to them are their missing cat and their friend who got them in trouble at school and things like that. So this film really looks at their world through the eyes of a 5th grader.
Gives you a different perspective.
And James Franco plays the father of one of these kids. And because James wrote 2 of the 3 stories that are sort of combined in this film, James plays his own father in the Yosemite portion of the film.
All right.
So it's kind of an interesting, him playing his own dad in the story where, there's a child actor playing the young version of James.
Of himself,
really.
yeah.
So kind of a bit of a true story here from his viewpoint?
I would say loosely based on true stories. James wrote a book called A California Childhood, and 2 of the 3 stories that happen in this movie are taken directly from that book.
Okay.
They're called Yosemite and Peter Parker. And then the third story is written by the director of the film, Gabriel Demester, and that ties the other two stories together in a very nice way.
Besides being able to work in LA and be successful at what you're doing and being a part of a project like this, what drew you to want to be a part of Yosemite?
Oh, Yosemite. I mean, I love working with James and Vince and talented young filmmakers. Gabrielle Demaster's gotten a lot of attention because of this film. She's writing another film now, I think sort of co-writing with James. They became friends at NYU. She's also writing a TV pilot. Most of I've produced 5 films in the last 3 years, and they've all been first-time writer-directors, first-time filmmakers, and it's really cool to be able to, get in on the ground floor with somebody who, may eventually take off, but also, we're all kind of doing our first projects out of school together, and huge collaboration.
We think of James Franco as the nutty stoner guy. What's he really like? And
he's not like that at all. And it's funny too because, everybody assumes that he must be that character, and he's really not. I mean, he doesn't smoke weed, and he's like very body as a temple kind of. He works out and he eats salads, and he's very, very intelligent. He never sleeps.
You're ruining his persona here.
No, I know, but that is a testament to how good of an actor he is, because everybody assumes he's a stoner, and he just acts that way really, really well.
Wow.
No, actual stoner.
Instantly drawn to it when I saw the preview. I don't know if it's the nostalgia element of it or the fact that I'm a father, but it just looks like a great movie.
Some people are kind of comparing it to a more moderate Stand By Me.
Yeah, it has. In several reviews, it's been compared to Stand By Me. It's a little bit darker. It's a little bit quieter, in tone.
So a little more modern version.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's good to be compared to Stand By Me.
Yeah,
I love Stand By Me.
That's a huge compliment, but we only have one opportunity to see it here tonight.
Yeah, just tonight at the Fleur, 7:30 p.m. Going to do a quick intro to the film, and then it's about 85, 90 minutes long, and then we'll do a Q&A afterwards for anybody who wants to know more about the film after they've seen it, and then we'll probably head out for some Shastas after that if there are more questions.
And I'm sure, and that's always your specialty as well.
Sure.
Well, Nick, it's good to see you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Proud of you.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Done, man, and keep us informed as to what your next project is too.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Great. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.